Okay, so you might see that on your screen. I'm starting the recording now. Usual thing, if you can't talk, let me know in the chat, please, guys. So Norzad, thank you, sir. Siham, so yeah, understood, Siham. Send me a message, Siham, if you want to continue with that. Mohammed Yaqub is not talking as well. No worries. Anyone else not speaking today? Please let me know now if it's okay, guys. So we're not wasting time. Obviously, we're all trying to study here, and should be fun, but should be serious. Okay, so here we go. I'm starting the recording. All right, welcome everyone. This is OET Medicine Writing. We're going to look at the passive voice this week. It's probably the most important thing you need to know for grammar, for OET writing. You use it all the time as a doctor in your letters and probably in other situations as well. Let me share my screen, guys, and you tell me if you can see the correct document here. Does everyone see three things here? Wait a second. Can anyone see it? You can't see that, can you? Let's try again.
Yes.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Wait a second. Try again with, yeah.
Tenses.
What can you see?
What is the passive tenses called?
Okay, why can I not see that? Okay, 1 second. Let me just close this down. Okay, all right, I've got this now. So does everyone see this?
Yes.
What do you see on your screen?
Question mark.
Question mark. Okay, well done, Dr. Caliph. Okay, now, guys, usual game, very quick. We always start with this game because it's actually very important for writing. I'm going to type a word. You just shout out as fast as you can what type of word it is. So if I say walk, you will say verb or
a noun.
No. Okay, so this is the game. You all know walk, but do you know the form? Okay, if I say visit,
Verb.
verb, and
Noun.
noun, right? You can say the visit was very good. This is a noun. Okay, what about more difficult now? What if I say regimen? You say that in OET.
No.
Yeah, so we say medication regimen or medication. You can say regime as well. They're both nouns. They both mean the same thing. Well done.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, go on, Ismail.
Regarding the pronunciation, it's a regime or regimen?
So it's a very strange sound here. I think it might be a French word, Ismail. So regime.
Regime.
J.
Yeah.
So that's not normally an English sound. It's more of a French sound. Sometimes people here will say regimen. They might say j, which is more English sounding. Regimen. This is definitely regime, though. Okay.
Bonjour.
Exactly. Bonjour. Okay. Now, great point. Now let's get it more difficult. What about this? Hesitate. Hesitate.
Verb.
I read. Oh, very nice. And what does it mean, guys, to hesitate? Hesitate.
Ignore.
Puzzled.
Double mind.
Yeah, two minds. Pause. To stop. That's what it means. Maybe, and you're not sure. You're waiting. Maybe you will act. Maybe you will not. You're in two minds, as someone said. Okay, after.
Noun.
Not a noun. No.
Conjunction.
Pronoun.
Before and after. Conjunction.
Not a pronoun.
Conjunction.
Preposition. Before, after. It's a preposition of time. Between, before, after, next to, in, on, at. Okay, what about this? Diet.
No.
Okay, what about this? Dietary.
No.
Adjective.
Adjective. Okay, that's a good one. So we might say dietary regime, right? In OET, you are often as a doctor, dietary regime, adjective plus noun. Okay, two more and we'll get started. Strategies.
No.
Noun. It is just a noun. What does it mean?
Long-term plan.
Yeah, long-term plan, or it's like a technique, a way of doing.
Yes.
Okay. Last one, and then we'll start this class. Restricted.
Adjective.
Adjective.
Now, it's usually here an adjective, but it can also be a verb. But usually in medicine, you'll say, oh, this is restricted. That's an adjective. Restricted medicine, adjective. What does it mean, guys, restricted?
Limited.
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 Narrow,
Limited.
limited.
Limited, yeah, limited. Okay. All right, so let's get started. Those are all words that you really need to use in OET. And this is some grammar today that you really, really need in OET. We're talking about the passive voice, okay? So we'll start off. You tell me, you guys tell me what is passive, okay? You all know. But then we're going to look at all of the tenses. Just in general, don't worry, you don't need to use passive in all tenses, but we can just review it. At the end of the class, I want to talk about common problems doctors have with the passive. When you're writing OET, when you're in your exam, there's certain things that will confuse you. I'll give you a list. If you watch until the end of this class, I'll give you a list of the things that people always make a mistake with, okay? So let's get started. I'd like to start with Bibi, or we could try Mohiba, if that's okay.
Yeah.
All right, so what is the passive, Bibi? Could you tell me? What is passive?
Yeah, passive, when we talk about a sentence when the doer of the action is not important, but we emphasize with mostly on the action is done, but
So the doer
the
of the action is not important.
yeah.
Sometimes that's right. Give us an example, Bibi. It's easy to start with examples. I like what you're saying. Go on.
Like he was prescribed
Yeah, you were prescribed.
antibiotic.
Nice OET example. Antibiotics. Okay. Is she right, guys? Is this passive? She given an example?
Exactly. Yes.
Yes, right.
And she's saying when the doer is not important, sometimes we don't want to put the doctor in, right? By the doctor. So that's correct. That is correct.
Yes.
But it's not the only reason why we use it, Bibi.
Also,
Mahiba?
yeah, also the action is important, but we can change the object to the bring to the subject, yeah.
So I'm going to put action is more important.
Yes.
Okay. And you say you can change the object. Yes, that's what I want to hear. What do you mean by that? You can change
yes. Because the object we can bring instead of subject and then
right. So you start with the object of the sentence. Okay.
And the verb is it should be with be plus past participle.
We'll get to that. Now, object. What is an object? Alexi, could you tell us, please, what an object is? Or Lucinda?
Object.
The object of a sentence. What is
the main part of, well, I don't know how to explain, actually.
Receive.
Okay.
It receive.
Yeah, the action will goes around the object. Does that make sense?
Yeah, well, it goes to the object.
Yeah.
Right? So, Farouk, help him. Normally we say the
the receiver of an action is important.
action, right? So, I can say, for example, Alexa, I ate an apple. What's the object here?
Apple.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's receiving. It's receiving
Yeah.
the action. And I know you guys know this. If we wanted to make passive here, Alexi, what would I do to make passive? An apple.
Did you say?
Okay.
He ate an apple. No.
Yeah. Can anyone help me? An apple was
Eaten.
Eaten.
Now, Alexi, you're a very good speaker. You do know this. Today we're just going to review all of the kind of basic things. It's about starting with the object, all right? And there's different reasons why we do that. But if I say, I ate an apple, what is this, guys? What's this one?
Subject.
Subject.
So an object is the receiver of an action. What's a subject?
Doer of an
Doer.
Doer of action. And these are very simple ideas. It's more complicated than that, actually. This is just true in general. Okay. So the subject, we usually start sentences with the doer. Alan bought a phone. The computer exploded, right? The subject is usually at the start of a sentence, but in passive, the object is at the start of the sentence. Example from BB, he was prescribed antibiotics. Okay, that's a great example from BB. Layla, can you make an active sentence from this? Can you make an active?
Which one? He was prescribed antibiotic.
Yeah,
antibiotics was prescribed. Sorry.
Well, let's think about this in more detail. So let's go a bit slower. So firstly, Layla, this is the object, right? He.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and then we have
Verb.
B.
B, verb, and subject, like antibiotics.
This would not be.
It's verb. It says verb. Prescribed is verb.
Is it verb 1, 2, or 3?
3.
This is 3.
Verb 3.
Generally, this is ed. We can't tell, but usually it should be 3. Verb 3.
If it's a regular verb, it will be 3. If it's irregular, it will be anything, right? With English. Okay, so where is the subject, guys?
Antibiotics.
We got by, and then we have the doctor here. Okay, here's the subject. Oops.
Doctor.
Now, so yeah, Layla, now you can make an active sentence.
Yes. Doctor prescribed antibiotics. The doctor prescribed antibiotics.
And then you could say to the patient or for Mr. Smith, exactly.
Yes.
To him. To him.
Yeah, you could say to him, Najibullah. Guys, here we have the subject. Here we have the verb. Okay.
Yes.
And then here we have the object. Now we'll talk about this more later. Can I speak now to Barak? Could you say hello, Barak?
Hello.
So reasons why we use passive. Reasons why.
For emphasize the object, maybe.
Okay, so yeah. Okay, so I suppose it's the action we're emphasizing, not the object.
Okay.
Right? So I suppose sometimes it can be as well as the object. That is true. Okay. What about in OET though? Why do we use passive in OET? Anyone?
When the
Focus on patient.
are done by the health professional.
Focus on the patient.
Focus on patient.
Ismail, go on. Ismail?
All the action which are done by the health professional, we use in passive style.
Yeah, and guys, this is true. Do are not important. Action not. This is good, but in OET, let's be specific here, right? This is what he's saying. All actions done by medical professionals
to the patient.
We use passive. Okay. Or let's say almost all, 99%, all actions done by medical professionals. What about actions done by the patient?
Active.
We use active. Why is that? Jasmine, can you say hello? Why do we use passive when we talk about ourselves, but we use active when we talk about patient?
What the patient does, we don't use like what we did. We refer to them.
Yeah, but why? Why are we doing this? Why? Like, guys, I could say Mr. Green, did more exercise. Is that passive or active, everyone?
Active.
This would be active, right? We wouldn't say more exercise was done by Mr. Green, okay? But if the doctor is doing it, we're going to use the passive. He was prescribed antibiotics. Why? Rima, what's the reason?
Reason for passive?
Yeah, why do we use the passive for ourselves? And
We don't refer to ourselves.
yeah, why? Does anyone know why?
Yeah. Because when we use a simple sentence, I mean, if the doer of an action is important, it is an active voice, and when the receiver of an action is important, it's a passive voice. And in the medical field, everything is done by the medical professional to the patient, so we use passive. And otherwise, if the patient do something, of course, we use simple sentence.
It shows our knowledge.
It should be concise, and also sometimes, yeah.
Sorry, Farooq. I like what you said, and I agree. But Ismail, can you add to this? There is a good reason why
we give the priority to the patient. Our
Yeah.
focus is the patient, and patient is important for us. Who receive the health services is important for us.
Also, I'm going to add one more thing, Ismail. Very good. We prioritize the patient. We focus on the patient, and it is more
Formal.
It's formal, right? So look, we are professionals. You guys are professionals, and you are medical professionals. So you need to focus on the patient, and you need to be formal. You need to be professional. You cannot talk about yourself. That's slightly less formal in this context. Okay, so these are the reasons why in OET we want to be formal, we want to be professional sounding, and we want to prioritize the patient. Everything is about making patients better. Okay, now that is the passive. In terms of the structure, we have said structure is object plus be plus verb 3. Okay, is this a negative or a positive sentence though?
Positive.
Positive. What if I want to make a negative? Rima, or if we could try Dr. Kelly?
He was not prescribed antibiotics.
So the negative would go here. Is that right, guys? If I want a negative, I would put it here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So the negative goes in between be auxiliary verb, in between this one and verb 3. Okay. What about the question structure? We don't really need this for writing, but maybe Freshta, Sulaiman, Siham. Can you make a question in passive?
Was he prescribed antibiotics?
Was he prescribed antibiotics? Is that right, guys? Is this passive question? Antibiotics. Was he prescribed antibiotics? Is it correct?
Yes.
Yes, structure-wise should be.
Was antibiotics?
No, but again,
It is. It is.
It is.
Yes.
It's
It
okay.
is, right? And as usual, to make a question, what do we do?
Move.
We move the subject and the auxiliary. We change them.
Yes.
It's called inversion. Inversion, I think. You just change the subject and the auxiliary round, right? You can say, I have eaten pizza, or have I eaten pizza? Okay, so that's the question form. We don't really need the question form for writing. This is a writing class, okay? What we need is the negative and the positive here. However, there's a little bit of a problem. What tense is this? Najma, could you say hello? Najma, or we could try Mohammed Hamza.
It's past participle.
What tense is this sentence? What tense is it?
Past participle.
Say again, sir. I think that was right. It's the
Yes.
Past simple.
Simple, past simple.
tense.
Simple past.
Simple. Okay. Is passive a tense? Farid, is passive a tense?
Yes.
It's an action.
A voice, sir. It's a voice.
Is it a tense? No, not a tense. Okay, not a tense. It's, as you say, Farouk, it's a voice. What does that mean, voice? It means you
Someone's.
It's a style. It's a feeling of sentence. Okay, so it's moving the object to the beginning. So that means, guys, there's more than one tense. Can we have passive in more than one tense?
Yeah.
Of course.
Yes.
We can. Okay. So for example, if I say, I will have eaten an apple, what tense is that?
Future.
Yes.
Future perfect.
Future perfect.
Can anyone make the passive? Maybe Jasmine, do you want to say hello? Freshta, can you make the passive with this?
Hello.
It's tricky, right?
It doesn't have.
Apple.
Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put you in groups, okay? I think probably in groups, you can figure out the passive of most tenses. You don't need me, okay? So can I show you my diagram? Can I show you this diagram?
Yes.
Here it is, okay. You guys are going to go into groups and try to remember, what is the passive? All tenses. This is the simple tense. Look, simple tense. Past simple, I ate an apple. Present simple, I eat apples. What's this one, guys?
Future.
Future.
Okay, what's this one, guys? What do we call this one? I was eating an apple.
Past continuous.
Past continuous.
Continuous. Okay, so we have past, we have present, and we have
Future.
Future.
What's this one? I had eaten an apple. I have eaten an apple. I will have eaten an apple.
Perfect.
Present perfect.
Perfect.
Past perfect.
Is there anything missing? What's missing?
Present perfect.
Present perfect continuous. Now, do we need that one? Passive.
No.
No,
No.
for the OET reasons, no.
It's very strange sounding.
Yeah.
You don't need it in OET, and you probably don't need it in normal life, right? It's so strange, you don't really need it, okay? So we will not study that this week. You don't even need all of these all the time, okay? So I'll tell you the ones that are the most important at the end of the class. But guys, you're going into groups. You will guess the passive for each sentence. Is that clear, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Farouk, Rima, yeah?
Yes.
Very, very talented people when it comes to grammar, some very, very strong grammar in this class. So you can teach each other. Question, go on, yes.
Apple will have been eaten by me.
Okay, well, Farid, you're going to teach people in your group.
No, just you asked, so at that time I mean networking was not good, so that's why I didn't respond.
Right. Oh, I see. Well, right, from before. Okay, brilliant. Okay, well, guys, we will now all do this. All try to make the passive in all these tenses. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, okay? Rooms are opening. Go and chat. All doctors here, you can chat and then just review what is the passive in all of these situations. Please join now. Okay, if you're watching on YouTube, we do classes like this every day. This is obviously grammar class, but focusing on